When bringing your lover to live with you in the United States, which is the better visa to apply for? A K1 Fiancee visa or a CR1 Spousal visa? Which one is better? This video is to replace the video that I produced in 2010. The fees and the timelines have changed, and so this video is current based upon September 2012. My name is Fred Wahl. I have been a matchmaker for over 35 years. I'm the founder of heartofasiaonline.com, and I have helped thousands of couples find each other for marriage in the USA. I've helped so many of the couples to prepare their paperwork to enter the United States that I have become a certified and bonded immigration consultant. Let me start by comparing the K1 and the CR1 processes. First of all, the K1 visa is a fiancé visa. You are both free to marry, but not married, and this visa will allow your foreign fiancé to enter the USA for up to 90 days. And if she marries you within those 90 days, she is eligible to apply for permanent residency and to stay in the USA and to obtain her green card. The spousal visa, CR1 visa, allows your foreign spouse, who you've already married, to enter the United States, and her green card is pre-approved, so she'll be able to get that in the mail a month or two after she arrives. The process for a K1 fiancé visa is as follows. First of all, the couple has to have met face-to-face. This does not count webcams or Skype or telephone calls. This means the two people meeting each other, seeing each other, breathing the same air. That's the basic eligibility requirement. Now, once the couple has decided they are engaged, they want to get married, they submit a fairly substantial petition to USCIS, that's Homeland Security. Homeland Security will review the petition, and usually between 3 and 6 months later will approve and then pass the case on to the U.S. State Department. And the U.S. State Department operates our consulates around the world, and they'll send the case to the consulate that's closest to your fiancé, and they will review the paperwork and invite her in for an interview, and that'll be their last chance to approve or deny the visa. Once the visa is granted, the visa will be good for six months, and she can travel to the USA. And once here, again, she has 90 days to get married, and if she marries, then she can apply for permanent residency. It's called applying for adjustment of status. The spousal visa process is similar. In this case, you first marry your foreign partner. That's usually done overseas. And then you prepare and submit another substantial petition to USCIS. USCIS will review and hopefully will approve in between 3 and 6 months. After they approve, they do pass on the case to the Department of State. Now, instead of the Department of State passing on the case to their consulate, instead they sent it to a branch that they operate in Vermont called the National Visa Center. The National Visa Center will require that the sponsor send another package, this time of civil documents, basically her birth certificate, ID, passport, police report, copy of the marriage certificate, and as well his affidavit of support proving he's financially eligible for the visa. The National Visa Center will collect all these documents, and when they are satisfied that all the documents are in order, then they will approve at least their part of the case and pass it on to the U.S. consulate. Then again, at the U.S. consulate, she will have an interview, submit some final documents, and be approved or denied. Now, the CR1 visa process is what's called regular immigration. That means that she's already approved for her green card for permanent residency, so there's no need for any adjustment of status after she arrives. In practice, once she arrives, she'll be given some forms at the border crossing and asked just to fill them in and mail them in, and that process triggers her getting her green card, which should arrive in the mail a few months later. The biggest difference between the process for the fiancé and spousal visa now is how long it takes to be processed. The K1 visa on average takes between 6 to 8 months from the time the petition is submitted to Homeland Security to the time that the gal gets the visa attached to her passport. The spousal visa takes roughly 6 months longer, usually on average between 10 and 14 months. There often is confusion about the published processing times, and that is because two departments of the government are handling each case. There's Homeland Security, and they publish their processing times, but no matter what they publish, they always say the same thing: 5 months. And then there's the U.S. State Department, and they do not publish their processing times, but it will vary between a few months to many months, depending upon which consulate is involved and whether it's a fiancé or a CR1 visa. So the numbers that I cite are most relevant. In your case, from start to finish, without spending too much time worrying about exactly which department of the government is dragging their feet. There is a substantial difference in the costs between a fiancé visa and a spousal visa, and that's primarily because the fiancé visa only allows the gal to come to the USA, but does not include the process to get her permanent residency, whereas the conditional, the CR1, includes the green card. So when I calculate for you the K1 visa costs, I'm going to include the cost to get a green card, because there's not much point in bringing her into the USA, getting married, and not also acquiring permanent residency for her. So the numbers here are as follows. When you send in your petition to Homeland Security, you include a check for $340. Homeland Security will approve, pass it on to the State Department, and when she is working with the consulate overseas, at that time she's going to have a medical, and the medical fees will vary between $150 and $200, but let's say $200, and she will have to pay directly to the consulate the visa application fee of $240. And this visa application fee is separate than the petition fee paid to Homeland Security. Sometimes there's confusion where we expect there only to be one fee, but there are two. Then finally, she comes to America, you marry, and you then apply for her green card. First step of that is to verify that she has the proper set of inoculations, and usually a surgeon approved by Homeland Security will charge about $100 for this. And then finally, submit another petition, this time to Homeland Security for the green card. It's called adjustment of status, and that will be accompanied by a check for $1,070. So all in, from the time you start till her getting permanent residency, the grand total is $1,950. The total fees to obtain a spousal visa are about $1,000 less than that for a fiancé visa. And this is primarily because the process of getting a green card is included. And that explains why the process takes longer, but because it includes getting the green card, but the total price is a little bit less. You start with submitting a petition to Homeland Security, paying $420. 3 to 6 months later, after Homeland Security approves, they pass the case on to the Department of State, and their National Visa Center will contact you via email and ask for an affidavit of support fee for $80 to be paid online. And then a few weeks later, a visa application fee, $230, also to be paid online. After that, you're sending in the civil documents to National Visa Center, and sometime down the line, the case will be sent overseas. She again has a medical, similar to the fiancé visa medical, roughly $200, and that's all she needs to pay. The final cost from submitting your visa petition to getting her green card, the cost will be $930 all in. And here's a summary comparison between the fiancé and spousal visa. Initially, the petition, the main form of the petition you are filing for the fiancé visa will be the I-129F, and then for the spousal visa, the I-130. Those are from Homeland Security. The earliest time that you can file, well, for the K-1, it has to be after an actual face-to-face meeting, whereas for the spousal visa, it needs to be after the wedding. The average time to process, 6 to 8 months for fiancé, 10 to 14 months for spousal. Total fees, $1,950 for K-1, $930 for spousal. And after she arrives in the States on the K-1 visa, she needs to go through the process of applying for her green card and doing her adjustment of status. Whereas on the spousal visa, it's a very simple procedure for her to request her green card and to get it. Immigration is always concerned about preventing people from fraudulently using a fiancé or spousal visa. So part of the interview process at the consulates is to determine if the couple is bona fide. They'll ask a number of questions to the petitioner to see if it seems as if it's a genuine couple. Many times I get phone calls from people and they think, well, if I fly over there and during my long weekend that I'm visiting, if I get married, that will obviously demonstrate to immigration that I'm sincere. Well, the truth is, it makes no difference whether you're married or not if you're really having a long-distance relationship. Yes, if you're married and you live together for 1 or 2 years and have 1 or 2 children, the proof of your legitimacy is quite obvious. But if it's long-distance relationship and you're flying overseas and spending a very limited amount of time together, whether you're engaged or have a marriage certificate makes no difference. You still need to prove that the relationship is genuine. Finally, which visa is better? Well, it depends upon your priorities. If you want to start your life together as quickly as possible, the fiancé visa makes sense because it's 6 months faster. And you don't have the green card yet, but you are living together. while the application for the green card is pending, compared to the spousal visa where the green card is included in the process, and you save $1,000. But perhaps because the green card is included, there is roughly a 6-month delay before your foreign spouse can come to the USA and you can start your lives together. I'm recording this video September 2012, and the information provided, to the best of my knowledge, is accurate. But immigration is a moving target. The fees and the processing times are constantly in flux, and occasionally the procedures change as well. So depending upon when you are watching this video, it probably would be a good idea to call me and see what the current information is, or check my website fiancevisaservices.com, where I should have updated this information. At the end of the day, I am here to help couples do their paperwork. I'm available to personally work with you to make sure that the process goes smoothly and the documentation is prepared well. So I provide personal service to my clients, and I hope you will become one. So to speak with me personally, to tell me about your situation, ask any questions, please call me directly. I answer the phone myself, or send an email, and I'd be happy to start working with you. I have helped so many couples to prepare their paperwork that I have become a certified and bonded immigration consultant. This means I'm fairly qualified to help you with the paperwork and to help you with the technical procedures. However, I am not an attorney, so I can't give legal advice and I cannot represent you. Call and speak with me personally. I am here to help you.